Sorry, I'm having my breakfast while I'm recording this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So you're going to notice I am much more in high spirits now than I was in yesterday's video, which if you did not see yesterday's video, I would highly recommend watching that. It is called the Roblox Anti-Alt Update. Go ahead and check that out. So yesterday morning, when I woke up at the crisp hour of 5 a.m., I had people in my Discord server telling me, hey, Barney, Roblox just released an anti-alt update, which makes it so that games now have the option to detect when you're using an alt account to bypass a ban. Now, I had heard talk of this update potentially being released, but I was not expecting to come out so soon. But then again, I don't really pay attention to any development updates from Roblox, really. I just play my games, I record my videos, and I go about my merry way. That's just kind of how I am with Roblox. But when I had heard this update had just rolled out, I'm sure you can understand, I was very, very, very concerned, as was the entire trolling community, but me especially, because like I mentioned in yesterday's video, if this update were to prevent me from making videos, there's a lot more on the line than just, funny YouTube videos. There's a job on the line for me, because I am paid real-life money by YouTube to make this trolling content. So if I can't get into the game because the game was detecting that I was using an alt to bypass a ban, yeah, I can't make a video. And if I can't make videos, YouTube's not going to keep me in the monetization program for much longer. So yeah, there's a lot on the line for me personally. So I made that video last night, or really yesterday morning, actually, really early yesterday morning, in kind of a rush and in a bit of a panic, because I didn't really have a lot of time to do any research on the update or what these games were going to do with the update, because I had to leave in 20 minutes. So I had 20 to 30 minutes to make the video and upload it to YouTube. And that video blew up because the entire trolling community was very concerned when I made that video, and I'm sure that everyone understands why. So when that video came out yesterday morning and I had to leave, the video, of course, blew up, and there were a lot of comments. In fact, I think there was 1,300 comments. So yeah, there was a lot of discussion about this update, and a lot of people were saying that this update that Roblox made is not as secure as we originally thought it would be. And honestly, I should have seen this coming, because Roblox, if we know anything about how hard they try with moderation, right? And that's not at all. We should know that they're probably not going to try too hard with this update either. Their track record with their work ethic, it's not that great. It's not that great. So it seems like people have already found workarounds around this update. I have actually found one myself. At least I believe I have. The only test I've done with this is in a controlled environment. So I don't know for sure if it's going to work when I actually get API banned at an actual game, but I'm going to guess, because we tried it out in a controlled environment, but we still were using the API ban feature. So yeah, in theory, I found a workaround. So this should mean that I can make videos again. But there's even more news than just that. It's not just that the update itself was faulty. When this update came out, and we learned that developers are going to have the ability to use this against, players who break the rules in their games, we trolls understandably assumed that that meant that these games are going to start, API banning, or the alt account detection ban, whatever you want to call it, every single person who does the slightest thing wrong in their game. Like how they are with server bans, where they'll just ban somebody, like at Pastries, like I used in the example yesterday, who bans people just for standing in virtual avatars, So it was very, very concerning, because it's oh man, are we all gonna get API banned and that's it? We're never gonna be able to troll again? No, that is not what's gonna happen. So what I did yesterday is I had conversations with owners and developers of the games that I troll at. Now, I didn't get to every single game, but I got to quite a few of them, and most of them, when I asked them about, what's you guys' plan with this update rolling out? Like, how strict are you guys going to be with it? Most of them said the same thing. Not exactly the same thing, but very similar. So they all actually seem to agree that just completely banning all trollers would actually, ironically enough, be a bad thing. It seems like the developers and owners of these games understand that more than we think they do. Because I remember yesterday reading the comment section, and some of you were even saying this, that, hey, if they were to just completely ban all trollers, that's gonna hurt their player count, it's gonna hurt the amount of place visits they're gonna get in the future, and, as much as the MRs don't want to admit it, it seems the owners and developers understand this. Trollers are a part of the game. That's just all there is to it. We are a part of the game. Yes, technically it is against the rules of the game to troll, but that's part of the game, Like, when you become an MR and you're out here with these moderator powers and you have no trollers to ban, what's the point of having your moderator powers if there's no one to use them on, All you'd be doing is just sitting there with your Spotify playlist on in the background, just watching LR serve real customers. That's it. That's all they would have to do. They wouldn't have any reason to have their admin commands. So, yes, it seems like the owners of these games and the developers understand that we trollers are a major part of their game, and they can't be rid of us entirely because that would actually hurt them, not help them. So when I asked most of these developers and the owners what they're going to be doing with this update, they basically all, in their own way, said, hey, we understand your concern, and we understand that, hey, trollers are kind of a part of the game. So this API ban feature is mostly being used against people who make really bad offenses. Not just, a regular troller who went up to the counter and asked for rats. No, we're not going to be using it against those people. It's against people who are either, consistently bypassing punishment or people that are making really bad offenses. So I would guess, exploiters, glitchers, if games have audio, people who play bypassed music probably, people who apparently I've heard that some people are actually trying to leak personal information in some games. There's apparently a group of people that are trying to do that. So people like that are being, API banned. I think most people would understand why those people would be API banned. And on top of that, it seems like in most of these games, not all admins are even going to have access to this API ban feature. It seems like most of these games are going to be giving it only to higher ranking people. So a random 12-year-old who bought, say Shift Leader at Washies, even though Shift Leaders don't have admin. But let's just pretend that they did for a moment. A random 12-year-old who bought an MR rank, isn't going to have access to this command. That is what I am hearing. So that is very good news. Very, very good news. The only thing I worry about is if somebody buys an HR rank at one of these games, but of course those have a higher price on them, but I don't know. That's really the only concern I have, is if people buy their way to an HR rank and then get access to the API ban command. That's my only real concern. But, yeah, and also it seems like a lot of these games haven't even implemented it yet. I know Washies has, but even they are still kind of working the bugs out a little bit, so to speak. Not all games have it yet. So it's slowly being rolled out, or probably quickly being rolled out, honestly. But this means that trolling's probably going to have to change in the trolling community, because it seems like the system these games are going to be putting in place now, at least from what I've heard from a few of them, is that they're going to try not to API ban everybody. Instead, they're going to try to go for muting people first, instead of going for that. But I did hear from some games that said, hey, if we catch people trying to bypass the mutes, then we may have to API ban them. So that probably means in the future that we're going to have to stop, just announcing to the world that, hey, I'm an alt account. It doesn't matter if you ban me, I'll always come back. The I always come back thing that I do is probably going to have to stop. All of us are going to have to really start, not revealing that we're evading a mute, or any of the other preventative measures that they put in place. Because that is what one game referred to them as, is preventative measures, so that they don't have to use the API ban feature. But yeah, we're going to have to just start, really being undercover about evading these measures, basically. Otherwise, they're going to see we're evading punishment and be like, okay, we got to API ban them. But even then, I have heard that not all API bans are permanent. Some of them are hours long, and some can be months long. So I guess it really is up to the developer's discretion on how they're going to do it. But this is all very new. I, of course, am just as freaked out as everybody else, but it is very good news to know that this is not like the end of the world for trolling, but this might mean that trolling is going to have to change for everybody. That's what this might mean. So that's still unfortunate that it's going to have to change, but personally, I would rather it have to change than for it to have to end completely. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? But yeah, I'm going to try to still learn as much as possible about this update. If you know something about it, or if you've heard anything from these games about what they're doing, or if you've seen what they're doing with this update, definitely leave a comment on this video letting us know, or you can even tweet at me on Twitter. My Twitter account is BarneyHunter12, or X as it is called now. X is what Twitter is called now, but BarneyHunter12 on Twitter. Or you can leave a comment on any of my videos letting us know, all right? Now, here's what I'm going to do with my uploading schedule now, okay? Because yesterday was going to be my recording day, but then, this all happened, so I had to spend all of yesterday talking to these games. So now I don't really have time to make a trolling video. So here's what we're going to do, all right? Because tomorrow is technically my upload day. I'm going to go ahead and upload Ask Barney Episode 2 because that is very quick and easy to make. And then the next uploading day, I will make a new trolling video, okay? That is what we are going to do. Now, hopefully this goes over well, and these games were telling the truth in that, no, we're not going to API ban everyone. I'm guessing they're telling the truth. I don't see why they would want to lie, because if they need trollers as much as they say, then I don't think they would lie. But anyway, this video was very disorganized. I apologize, but I kind of, I'm not in as much of a rush as I was yesterday, but I'm still in kind of a rush to get this video out so that I can inform everybody and so I can get started on Ask Barney Episode 2. So, yes. So basically, to sum it all up, just don't admit that you're evading any of the mutes or whatever that these games are going to start doing. And don't do anything really bad like exploit or glitch or play bypass music, and you should be fine. You should be just fine. But, of course, it's one thing what these games say is going to happen. It's another what's actually going to happen. So I guess there's really only one way to find out, and that is to let time go by and see what happens. So, like I said, if you have any information, definitely let me know in the comment section below. You'll be informing not just me, but the entire trolling community. So anyway, with that said, thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow in Ask Barney Episode 2. Have a good one, folks.